Welcome to Tutorio. Subscribe, like, and hit the bell icon to never miss another one of our amazing videos. Have you ever wondered how rubber bands are made? It's a tale as stretchy as the bands themselves. Now, I know what you're thinking. Rubber bands? Those everyday, unassuming items that we casually flick at our coworkers or use to tie up our unruly locks of hair? Yes, those very same ones. May seem simple, but their creation process is as fascinating as a magic trick. Picture a rubber tree standing tall and proud in a tropical forest. It's here, in these humble beginnings, that our rubber band story starts. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. That's a story for another scene. What we're here to talk about is the irony of it all. How something so commonplace, so ordinary, a birth story that's shrouded in mystery for most of us. I mean, isn't it funny? We use them all the time, to hold together our lunch boxes, to keep our papers in order, to make a makeshift slingshot when we're bored. Yet if someone asked us where they come from, we'd probably just shrug and say, the store. But oh, the journey they go through before they end up in our homes. It's a tale of transformation, of humble origins turned into stretchy, snappy marvels. And it's not just about the how, it's also about the who. Who knew that there are dedicated, hardworking individuals out there spending their days and nights to ensure that we have a steady supply of these stretchy little miracles? It's a world that's as fascinating as it is. So let's change that, shall we? Let's delve into the world of rubber bands, into the forests, the factories, the quality. Let's appreciate the journey, the transformation, the magic. Let's unravel the mystery of the humble rubber band together, shall we? Our journey begins in the tropical rainforests, where rubber trees are just chilling. Here, in the lush green heart of nature, our humble rubber trees are soaking up the sun, swaying in the breeze, and generally living the good life. But these aren't your average trees, oh no. These trees have a secret, a milky white sap flowing through their veins called latex. Now imagine being a rubber tree. One day you're just minding your own business, photosynthesizing, when along comes a human with a tapping knife. This is where the rubber meets the road, or rather, the blade meets the bark. With a few expert slashes, the tree's latex starts to flow, kind of like when you nick yourself shaving. But don't worry, the trees aren't in any pain. It's more like they're donating blood, except it's latex and it's for rubber bands, not hospitals. The trees, like moody teenagers, ooze out latex when prodded. From the tree to the factory, the latex embarks on a journey more thrilling than a roller coaster ride. Imagine being a glob of latex fresh from the tree, soaking up the tropical sunshine. You're sitting there minding your own business when suddenly it's time to move. You're scooped up, placed in a container, and off you go. It's like being plucked from a cozy nest and thrown into a wild race car. Talk about a wake-up call. Now, the transportation of latex is no ordinary commute. It's an epic voyage that would make even the most seasoned globetrotters green with envy. Picture this, a convoy of trucks, each one brimming with gallons of latex, rumbling down the road, kicking up dust and turning heads. It's like a parade, only less confetti and more rubber. Then comes the river crossing, where our latex friends get to enjoy a serene boat ride. The gentle sway of the boat, the lapping of the water. It's a tropical vacation in a nutshell. But don't let the tranquility fool you. This is a journey of endurance, a test of one's mettle. You can almost hear the latex humming, row, row, row your boat under its breath. Our glob of latex, now a seasoned sailor, is then loaded back onto the truck. The next leg of the journey is a scenic drive through the countryside. The latex gets to see rolling hills, lush green fields, and maybe even a rainbow if it's lucky. It's like a sightseeing tour, but without the overpriced souvenirs. Finally, after a journey filled with trials and tribulations, the latex arrives at the factory. Tired but triumphant, it's ready for the next stage of its adventure. The factory gates open, the latex is unloaded, and the real fun begins. The latex, now seasoned travelers, arrive at the factory for the next stage of their adventure. And what an adventure it's going to be. But that, my friends, is a story for another time. Inside the factory, the latex is subjected to an extreme makeover. Now let's journey into the heart of the factory, where the magic really happens. Picture a bustling hive of activity, with machines whirring, gears turning, and latex changing its form in a spectacular display of industrial alchemy. First up, the latex enters a machine that could only be described as a roller coaster for rubber. It's whipped, twirled, and spun around with such ferocity, you'd think it was auditioning for a spot on a reality dance show. But don't be fooled. This isn't frivolous fun. This is the first crucial step in transforming latex into a rubber band. Next, the latex is introduced to a machine that looks like a cross between a steamroller and a giant hair straightener. This contraption applies heat and pressure, flattening and smoothing the latex into thin sheets. You could say it's like a spa day for the latex, getting a hot stone massage and a body wrap, all in one go. Now the latex sheets need to cool down after their heated encounter. They're sent on a leisurely conveyor belt ride, giving them plenty of time to chill out and enjoy the factory views. It's like their very own factory sightseeing tour, but without the tacky souvenirs. Just when you thought the latex had endured enough, it's sent through a machine that looks suspiciously like a giant pasta maker. This contraption stretches and pulls the latex into long, thin strips. It's a bit like the latex is being made into spaghetti, but let's be clear, this is one pasta dish you definitely wouldn't want to taste. Finally, the latex is left to rest. It's been a long, exhausting transformation, and it needs some time to regain its composure before it goes through its final transformation into a rubber band. After a series of whirls, twirls, and a lot of heat, the latex transforms into long rubber sheets. Voila! Next, the rubber sheets go through a process that would make Cinderella jealous. You see, these sheets don't need any fairy godmother, they have something even better: precision machinery. Imagine, if you will, a hair salon, but for rubber. Each rubber sheet, like a hopeful client, enters the machine, eagerly awaiting its makeover. The machine, like a seasoned hairstylist, knows just what to do. It takes each rubber sheet and begins to cut, not hair, but rubber into thin, long strips. The rubber sheet, once a plain Jane, now emerges as a series of slender, long, and flexible strips, ready to take on the world. This is no ordinary makeover. This is a transformation that turns the rubber sheet from a wallflower into the life of the party. The machine, our expert stylist, ensures each strip is cut to the perfect width, with a finesse that could put any seasoned barber to shame. It's not just about looking good, it's about feeling good too. Each strip is tested for elasticity, ensuring it can stretch and rebound just like a perfect rubber band should. It's the equivalent of checking your new haircut in the mirror and giving it a satisfied nod. Just like after a successful trip to the salon, these strips, now transformed into rubber bands, are ready to face the world. They are ready to hold together your mail, keep your hair in place, or even be flung across the room in an impromptu rubber band war. They are no longer just rubber sheets, they are rubber bands, ready for anything. And the best part, they look good doing it. Each rubber band, with its sleek design and perfect elasticity, is a testament to the beauty that can come from a simple transformation. So there you have it, the rubber sheets, once the unsung heroes of the rubber band world, get their moment to shine. From the ugly duckling rubber sheets, beautiful rubber bands emerge. Before the rubber bands can make their grand entrance into the world, they must pass the ultimate test. Now, this is where the real drama unfolds. Picture this, hundreds of rubber bands lined up, shaking with nerves, sweating latex. It's like they're high school students waiting to sit for their final exams. Only in this case, they're about to face the discerning eyes of the quality control department. The quality check process is thorough and rigorous. Each band is checked for its elasticity, strength, and durability. In this world, it's all about survival of the fittest, or should I say, the stretchiest. First up, the elasticity test. Our rubber band candidates are stretched, twisted, and pulled in every direction. It's like they're in a yoga class, but without the soothing music and calming incense. The ones that snap under pressure, well, let's just say they won't be holding your ponytails or binding your papers anytime soon. Next, the strength test. This is not for the faint-hearted. Each rubber band is subjected to extreme forces akin to a weightlifter's worst nightmare. If they can't handle the pressure, they're out. We're not looking for any weak links here, folks. Finally, the durability test. This is the ultimate endurance test. How long can our rubber bands withstand repeated stretching and relaxing? It's like a never-ending marathon. Only the ones that can go the distance make it to the next round. Remember, it's a tough world out there for a rubber band. They've got to be ready to take on anything, from holding together a bunch of broccoli at the supermarket to being shot across a room in an epic office war. And so, after this grueling process, only the best of the best rubber bands make the cut. They are the ones that have proven their worth, shown their strength, and demonstrated their resilience. They've earned their stripes, or rather their circles. Only the best of the best rubber bands make the cut. Finally, the rubber bands are ready to embark on their journey to your homes. The grand finale of our rubber band saga is upon us. With their transformation complete and their quality affirmed, our stretchy heroes are now ready to take on the world. But first, they need to be packed and shipped off to their new homes. And trust me, it's not a stroll down the park for these elastic warriors. The packaging process is quite a spectacle. Picture this: a legion of rubber bands, huddled together, bracing themselves for the adventure of their lives. They're tightly packed into boxes, each one eager to fulfill its destiny. It's like sending your kids off to college, if your kids were round, stretchy, and had an uncanny knack for disappearing when you need them most. Once packed, the boxes are loaded onto trucks, planes, and ships, crisscrossing the globe to reach their final destinations. It's a journey of epic proportions, akin to Frodo's quest to Mordor, but with less fiery mountains and more paperwork. And oh, the adventures they'll have in their new homes. Some will be heroes, holding together your last-minute school projects. Others will find themselves in the glamorous world of hairstyling, becoming an essential part of your perfect ponytails. And let's not forget those brave few who will end up in the hands of mischievous kids, transformed into miniature slingshots. In the end, each rubber band will find its place in the world, fulfilling its purpose with stretchy determination. They may be small, but their impact is undeniable. They hold our lives together, quite literally, in ways we often take for granted. So next time you see a rubber band, take a moment to appreciate its journey. From a humble sap in a rubber tree to an indispensable tool in your homes, it's an adventure that's as fascinating as it is elastic. And that, my friends, is the epic tale of how a rubber band is made. So the next time you stretch a rubber band, remember the epic journey it has been through. Let's take a moment to stretch our memories back to the beginning, to the humble birth of the rubber band. In the enigmatic heart of the rubber tree, our stretchy hero was born, not as a band, but as a sticky substance. It's like the origin story of a superhero, except instead of a radioactive spider, we have a tree. Then, with the spirit of adventure, our gooey protagonist embarked on a journey towards the factory. Imagine this as an epic voyage, like Odysseus sailing to Ithaca, except with less mythical creatures and more conveyor belts. Once at the factory, the transformation began. It was like Cinderella getting ready for the ball, but instead of a fairy godmother, there were machines. And instead of a pumpkin carriage and glass slippers, we got rubber bands. Maybe not as glamorous, but certainly more practical. The factory was a frenzy of activity, a whirlwind of machines and people working in harmony. It was like watching a synchronized dance, only with less tutus and more safety goggles. Then came the quality check, the moment of truth. It was like the final rose ceremony in a reality show, with each rubber band waiting to see if it made the cut, but with less drama and more rubber. And finally, the grand finale, where our rubber band heroes were packed and shipped off to homes around the world. It's like the end of a blockbuster movie, where the hero rides off into the sunset. Only in this case, the heroes are riding off in delivery trucks to stationary stores. So the next time you find yourself stretching a rubber band, take a moment to appreciate its journey. From tree to factory, from goo to band, it's quite a tale of transformation. Who knew something so stretchy could have such a stretched out story, right?